Hi, this is Jerry with I Love RV Life. When we got our new Montana, there was one thing I knew I was going to miss. That rear camera we had on the back of our other fifth wheel. Well, today, I'm going to fix that. I've got Haloview's new BT7, a 100% wireless solution for big rigs. Well, hi, this is Jerry. I am a big fan of rear cameras on the back of an RV for a number of reasons. One, the safety factor and the ease of backing up your RV. It doesn't matter whether you've got a big 42-foot fifth wheel like we have, or you've got a bus, or you have something else that you can't see out of the back. Having that view, or even if you have someone, like I have Joan in the back, I can see her clearly and she's giving me directions on which way to back up. Very, very handy, especially in tight spots. Having that rear view mirror capability as you're traveling down the road is super handy as well. I like that. It's part convenience, it's part safety again, so you can see what's behind you. And then also, we've been in trucker lanes at the fuel stops a number of times to where something may have happened in front of us and the truck can't move and we're kind of stuck there waiting for them, and the fuel lane left or right opens up. I can look in that rear view camera. I've got a big wide view. I can see what's behind me or not behind me. I could ease back, move over in that other lane and go ahead and fuel. Just that convenience factor, safety factor that I think back cameras on an RV are just incredibly important. Well, you may know that I am a big fan of Haloview. I have been using Haloview cameras almost as long as we've owned an RV. The reason I like them, they work, and they work well. Their video quality is extremely good. I've never had a monitor fail. I've never had a camera fail. I like the ease of installation, and I've just become a big fan. When we bought the new Montana, we had a pre-wire for a competitor's camera on the back, a pre-wire that was back there that had a slightly different mount. And I had a challenge. If you saw the one that we had on the gateway, we used what they called an RD7. And because the gateway was so long, we ran a cable from the back to an amplifier up front. I think that was another reason that style RD7 worked so well. And I can't do that on this one. I just don't have the location to where I can hide wires and do those types of things. So I called Haloview and said, look, 2022 Montana, RD7's not going to work well for me. What are my options? Do you have a long range camera that will work well, 42 feet, through the cab of a Super Duty F350 and give me a good signal? Haloview contacted me back and said, guess what? We have a new camera system, high power, that'll be coming out in just a couple months. Hold on, we'll send you one to evaluate. So this is it. This is the new camera system that Haloview has come out for big rigs. You can use it on smaller ones if you choose to do so, and this thing is really something. It's called the BT7. I also like the other name they give it, the Byte Tango 7, 1080p, 2.4G operating system. And there's a number of reasons that this system will work well for long range. Stronger radios, and then if you can see in the picture, and you'll see it more when we do the install, this new monitor that we have now compared to the other one has two antennas for reception. So I think that's going to be a big difference. This really is a nice unit. Nice 7-inch display that you'll be seeing, 16:9, crystal clear. It always looks fantastic. A number of different power options. I'm really excited. I think this install is going to take me minutes compared to some of the more complicated ones I've done, which took me all day. This one's going to take minutes. I'm pre-wired. I'm going to stick it in the truck. We're going to be rocking and rolling and heading down the road. Let me show you what's all in this kit. So these are all of the items that come in the kit, and I'll go through these quickly. This is the camera. This is called the Byte Tango camera system. These are a higher power camera, night and day camera. It's all pre-wired, and they provide cables for this as well. They also provide your weatherproof gasket that goes onto the back. This is that really nice new 7-inch monitor, and you can see the 2 antenna ports. It also has a place where you can put in a micro SD card for recording. They provide you with your antennas. They provide you with both a bracket if you want to install with a bracket. They also have a bezel that goes on the front if you have light coming in on it as well. They give you another mounting for option with the super sticky 3M tape that you can place on your dash. I'm not sure which one we're going to use yet. Manuals for setting up both the camera monitor and a regular user manual as well. It's important if you've never done one of these before. There is a, whatever you want to call it, a marshalling or a syncing process. It's really simple to do, but there are a couple steps that I'll be showing you on how to quickly set the camera up to this specific monitor, and then you have a secured connection. They give you all the screws, all the wire nuts, all the mounting that goes with it as well. And then they give you plenty of power connections. This is your power connection that I'll be using for the camera that's back here. And then they provide several options for powering the unit. They have something called a pairing cable and a few other things here as well that if you have pre-wired solutions, I'll be using this to be able to power the monitor. It's just real simple. Plug it in and just use it like that. I can always take it out of the truck if I have to have some work or repair done on that. That's really all that is to it. This is going to take minutes, literally minutes, to be able to install this. I am really excited. Well, I've got everything in hand. I've got my camera, I've got my gasket for the back for the weatherproof, I've got a couple screws and wire nuts, and I've got my power cable. Let's head to the back of the fifth wheel. This is going to take minutes to install this thing. We're going to take this off. I will go ahead and say there's a sticker back here. It says camera ready. And you can go to Keystone and get their camera and monitor system. It's probably good. I don't know anything about it, but it's probably good. And we're going to take this off. There we go. Look at there. I found wires. And I imagine I'm going to take these and kind of clip this little doodad right here off. Be careful not to cut the wires. Now I'll share this with you. It's got 2 little holes here. This was probably just for whatever this kind of a mount was. I don't know if their camera comes with that mount. And I also suspect that these wires here are probably tied in, if you look up here at the top, into these LED marker lights. So we're going to see if they've got power on them now. I don't have any of the power coming back to these yet. So I'm going to go ahead and prep these, get them ready. You're going to need some basic tools. Make sure you keep this is color coded on this Montana. You've got 2 white wires and 2 white and green stripe wires. So make sure you don't cross those up or you're going to cause a problem. You're going to need some basic tools, okay? You're going to need that screwdriver. Again, I like to use the 9-in-1. Strongly recommend using a pair of inexpensive, these are Klein tool wire strippers, very basic. I'm going to use an inexpensive Black & Decker cordless drill to drill these holes. Okay, I'm going to twist these together. I don't think there's any need to solder them because I'm going to be using this type of a compression waterproof lug, even though no water will be getting back in here. All right, I am going to strongly suspect at this stage that there's no power here. And here's how I'm going to validate it. Again, when you do these types of projects or you're going to have just maintenance on your RV again, go get you a digital voltmeter and let's check and see if we have any power here. This is low power. It's not going to shock you. It's not going to hurt you. And I can just touch it like so and like so. And we have nothing. There's no power. Okay, I've connected the tow cable, the trailer cable, to the truck and turned on the parking lights. You can see my LED lights are on. I'm going to see where my power's at. This is red is positive. This is negative or common. And we're going to see if we've got voltage. Again, this is low voltage. It's not going to shock you if you touch it. It's not going to hurt you. And boom. So it looks as though, yep. Can you see it? 11.66 volts, 11.63 volts. Okay, got a little voltage drop coming back here. Still don't think that's bad. We'll see. I think that'll be well within the operating range. Now, polarity is important. I need to see which one is positive and which is negative. This is my positive probe. And it looks as though white with green stripe is positive, because if I reverse it, it shows a negative reading, putting the positive on the white. So on my camper, on mine, test it for yourself. On mine, my white with green stripe is the positive side. So that's my positive. Okay, I'm gonna go turn this power off because I don't want these wires to touch while I'm installing, cause a short, blow a fuse. There is a top and a bottom to this. That'll become more important here in just a few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and pre-wire everything and then attempt to stuff all this wire that comes with this unit, the pre-wire, stuff it all back inside here. We'll see how successful. I may end up having to do this twice. We'll see. All right. Again, this is my positive and this is my negative. So for wiring this, red is positive, black is ground, and this is called trigger wire. So this camera has other installations where you may mount that, say, you know, somewhere else on a camper, or you've got a big rig truck or something like that, and you want to be able to trigger the camera coming on. I don't have that capability. I've only got 2 wires. The trigger would be, you'd go to like a separate switch to turn the cameras off and on, and you would put 12 volts, a positive voltage to that to trigger the camera to come on. All right, let's see how much success we're gonna have feeding this in here. Oh yeah, no problem whatsoever. And then I can't turn the camera around, unfortunately, and show you marking it, but this thing is slotted. And I'm just going to put me a nice little reference mark in the middle, so if I have to do some fine adjustment, I can do that. All right, it's easy. Don't worry about this. This is easy breezy. Okay, and put just a few little holes in here. There we go. Clean that off. All right. This is getting simpler by the minute. And this has got a twist. This has got a little O-ring on it for weather tight, even though it's going to be inside. And this has got a bit of a, it's keyed. It's got a twist lock to it to make sure it locks in tight. Make sure you lock it and pull on it. All right, we're putting the finishing touches on this. Really simple. Just don't over tighten it. You got your gasket here. Make sure that this fits tight within the gasket, and just pull the screws up good and snug. Like I said, don't overdo it in this composite here, or you'll strip it out really easy. All right, now that we've got it good and tight, we'll come back adjust this once we get it all set up. 3 antennas, all 3 are identical. Just put your antenna on and get it. Don't take a pair of pliers and stick to this, you'll snap it. Super finger tight. That's all you need. You got plenty of adjustment. Now, according to the instructions, you want to have the antenna vertical to the ground, not horizontal. You want to have it vertical to the ground. And I'm going to bring mine forward just ever so slightly. All right, there we go. Looks just like factory. Doesn't that look great? We're in the truck now. I have the monitor. Shouldn't take me but just a couple minutes. Several different options. I think I showed one where you have like a bracket here that you can use. And my other installations, I use that bracket and connected it to the front of the armrest. The challenge that I have here is dash real estate. Let me show you. This is what we're dealing with. And again, I understand in some states you can't even mount anything up on your dash because of law. But I already have a place for my iPhone. That's my tire pressure monitoring system that I have there. I put a small, little iPhone 7 there that I use to monitor my engine performance, transmission heat, booster, those types of things. So, again, in a previous installation, I just mounted it like so, and that worked okay, but it kind of, again, in these trucks, you've only got so much real estate to deal with, and it was this clunky thing right here, and, you know, we were able to work around it, still get to our radios and all. I showed you the other mount that you peel and stick, and you can mount it up on your dash. If you had something like a Class A, that would probably work out perfect for you. You could just peel and stick that and put it up here. You also notice that this one here has some screws. So this is plastic. And I don't know how well that tape will hold in the hot Georgia sun. It does get hot. And wherever we're traveling where there's heat. And there were a few holes here. And I just put a couple small, little teeny holes here. And it's okay. I don't mind doing that. I've got so much other junk in here, it doesn't matter. But this is in there. I mean, it's not going anywhere. So I peeled it and stuck it and then put 3 little screws. And this is where we're going to put the monitor. Okay, I have turned on the parking lights to the truck. And that'll turn on the marker lights going out back. And that should power up the camera. The good thing about this is when you power up your unit for the first time, it's already programmed from the factory with the camera from to channel 4. So there's literally nothing to do. Now, if you're adding other cameras, there is a process that you go to connect those cameras to this, to marshal it or set it up. It's pretty simple, but this just comes from the factory, nothing else to do. Now, I can look and see that the screen is backwards, but that's an easy fix. I can go into press M for menu, and then I'll hit plus to take it over to mirror. I'll hit the little enter, and you'll do a minus or a plus. We don't want it that way, but we want it that way. So I can look at it right now and tell that that's the way I want to be able to go. Hit menu again, hit menu again. So you'll notice that it has park lines. I don't want to use those. I will use Joan as my park lines. Or I'm just going to be using it as a rear view mirror. So let's go into menu. We'll hit plus, plus, plus. Take it down here to park lines. Hit enter. Hit plus. Take it over to select park lines. Hit minus. Turn them off. Hit confirm, hit menu, hit menu, hit menu, and my park lines are gone. These cameras do have built-in lights, so you can turn the lights off and on. Let's say that you're backing into your parking place and you need some additional camera light. You can take the S and press for 2 seconds. I'm not sure if you saw it pop, but right there is a little small, let's see if I can zoom in on it, a little small light bulb, and the lights are on the camera now. I don't need these running during the day. And you can press that S, hold it for 2 seconds, and you'll notice now that the little light has gone. So that's a handy little function too, as you're backing into campground. Hopefully you're not having to back in at night, but if you are, you can hit that S, and that will take care of your light for you. So it's a great little install. I like it. Again, when you're looking here, you know, a dash space, I'm really hurting for dash space here. And I don't need anything else up here. Honest to goodness, I've got so much stuff up here now between, you know, I've got my insurance camera here, my forward camera, iPhone going down the road. Sometimes I put a small tablet here, a little, you know, to use for directions. I don't do that all the time, but I do that sometimes. Most of the time I'm just using the iPhone. My TPMS system, and then over here in the corner, a little iPhone that I'm using to monitor. So I think, you know, going down the road, I'll give you my eye view. There it is. I can, you know, take a glance and look over, you know, out of the corner of my eye and just see what my rear view mirror my rear view mirror via Haloview looks like as I'm going down the road. And then it's very easy as I'm, you know, backing up, looking at my side, you know, looking at my side mirrors as I move back and forth. I can glance to see Joan if she's in the very back, and she can give me the directions to move forward or backward. Super, super easy installation. I guess all in all, it took me maybe 10 minutes to mount this, plug it in. No setup, came from the factory pre-set up, and took me probably about 15-20 minutes roughly by the time I got the tools out, set the ladder up to set the camera in the back. Haloview has been great. This is the 4th or 5th one of these I've installed in one fashion or another. You can go out on the channel. There's all kinds of Haloview, different types of configurations for different types of setups, permanent magnetic mounts, all kinds of things that they provide. And I'd also like to thank Haloview for sending us this camera. We called them, what options do we have now? They said, we got this new BT7, this Byte Tango, and I love that. And it is a high power antenna and high power monitor. So you can use it on the longer fifth wheels, you can use it on the longer Class A's that are out there, and you don't have that signal drop as you go down the road. And I'll be showing you that as soon as we're getting ready to head out here in a few weeks, and I'll do a compilation video and actually show you the signal strength. So if you're interested in getting Haloview, support the channel. Go to the description below and you'll see a link that you can go to click on that. It doesn't cost you any more to be able to use that. You can also go to ilovervlife.com and you can see an ad that we run on the site, or go to the accessories and you'll see all kinds of different configurations for Haloview. Haloview's been a great supporter of I Love RV Life, and we thank them for that. And many of you have bought cameras off of the I Love RV Life accessories page, and I'm eternally grateful for you supporting the channel for that. So thank you so much. Well, I hope you like these videos. I'm thrilled to finally have my rear camera in the back of this big old 42-foot fifth wheel. As I go down the road, I can see people seeing the I Love RV Life sticker and wave. And as we're backing up, it gives me just an extra set of eyes to where I can see Joan a little bit easier. She's giving me the signals of left, right, and come on back. So it's kind of handy to have that. It really is. So thank you so much for watching. I love doing this, and I love RV life. Hope to see you in a campground near us soon. Bye now. Here's what the camera looks like as we're going down the road. You see we're heading down the interstate. Now, one of the things I've noticed is this isn't like a 30 frames per second. That would be like something like if you were watching YouTube or something like that, you get 30 frames per second, or even 24 frames a second. I would say this is substantially less, maybe in the 12 range, 10 range, maybe as high as 15. And I think one of the reasons that they're doing that is to handle the distances between the back of the back camera and all the way up here to the front of the cab. Again, we're well over 50 feet. We're probably, I don't know, I'm kind of guessing probably closer to 52 feet, maybe 54 feet, somewhere thereabouts, going through the metal cab. We've been driving hundreds and hundreds of miles with this since we installed it, and we're not seeing any drop out of frames, any of that. It's holding up very, very well. We're quite pleased with that, and it works great for backup. It's very reliable. I'm very, very pleased with the overall performance of the camera and the monitor itself. That 7-inch monitor is nice too. Here's the camera as we reach the campground. You can see it here. I'm going to just show you what it looks like as we back in. I'm going to be really careful here, back up just a little bit, but you can just see the clarity. It's absolutely fantastic. I can just see how much space I've got before I need to stop. That's about where I need to be right there. Clarity is just absolutely perfect. And again, you can just look at our setup here. Now that's my camera that looks at the back from the tag camera, but you can see here the clarity is absolutely fantastic. Now there's a little jitter that you see in the video. That is not on the screen. I think that is just the way the GoPro here is recording the screen, but it's absolutely perfectly clear.